Welcome back to the news across Nigeria. Remember, for more on our top stories and others, please visit our website, channelstv.com and youtube.com/channelsweb. Log on to m.channelstv.com to watch us on your mobile device or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows devices from their respective stores. And having the Channels TV and Channels 24 app will give you access to news and updates. You'll also have access to the Eyewitness feature, with which you can share those pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the menu and follow the instructions you find there to share. Now here are some of the pictures you've been sending in. Our first photo shows some loosely hanging cables of a fallen electricity pole along Old Ewu Road, Mafuloko in Oshodi, Lagos State. Our eyewitness reporter describes this as an accident waiting to happen and would want the distribution company to respond appropriately. And this is a picture showing thick black fumes billowing into the sky somewhere in Iriebe Obiokpo local government area of Rivers State, which is giving our eyewitness cause for concern. He claims the neighborhood is exposed to grave dangers and would want the Environment Agency to intervene. And this one shows a picture of a flooded estate in Lekki area of Lagos State. Our eyewitness reporter says the drainages in that neighborhood need to be attended to make passage easy for the resident. And this is another picture of a broken pipe in Mori Avenue of Imo State. Our eyewitness reporter says this is hazardous to residents in the neighborhood and the authorities should look into the matter as soon as possible. Many thanks for staying with us on the News Across Nigeria, the program that brings you news from the length and breadth of the country. Now, bandits suspected to be cattle rustlers have killed 2 policemen and a civilian in the Maigana district of Soba local government area of Kaduna State. Our correspondent in the state reports that the incident happened early this morning when the policemen engaged the bandits in a gun duel following a distress call from residents of the area about the hoodlums who've been terrorizing the community. The Kaduna State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Agoile Abe, told Channels Television that the deceased were on a routine patrol in the area when they were ambushed by the gunmen who opened fire on them.
The men were on routine patrol. They were now responding to a distress call, and because of the visibility at that particular time, they were ambushed and the attackers from the bush opened fire on their vehicle, and consequently the backup team behind engaged the hoodlum and they disappeared into the thick forest. However, 2 of our men sustained fatal injuries and they were rushed to the hospital. But unfortunately, they died before any help could come at the clinic. We are at the peak of ending the menace of these armed bandits. We are putting into motion every measure to ensure that these incidents do no longer occur.
And the Kano state government has denied allegations of paying 1.3 billion naira of bank overdraft interest to settle workers' salary and pensions before and after the commencement of the 2017 Muslim Ramadan and Eid al-Fitr celebrations. During a joint press conference by the State Accountant General, the Commissioner of Finance and that of Information confirmed that Kano state government only paid an interest of 10.7 million naira to some banks in order to pay the workers' salaries to enable a hitch-free Eid al-Fitr celebration for the month of June 2017.
The Kano state government has recently been criticized over an alleged financial deal with some banks to pay the June 2017 workers' salaries to enable the state civil servants celebrate Eid al-Fitr successfully. The State Commissioner of Finance stresses that accessing overdraft facilities is part of normal banking relationship between banks and their customers, done mainly on the strength of the goodwill of the customer.
One of the banks accepted to give us the loan at 15 or 14%, the other one at 15%. And when you compute 15% of the amount agreed, that was 4.5 billion naira, and then you multiply by the 3 days in which the money has been utilized, you divide by 365 days in a year, you will arrive at 5.5 million naira. So the total cost implication was 10.7 million naira.
For the State Accountant General, he explains how the arrangement was made.
10.7 million for this temporary overdraft. It got as a facility that enabled it to pay salaries before Salah. For emphasis, if we hadn't utilized the overdraft to pay salaries, people of Kano State would have ended up getting their salary days after Salah.
Meanwhile, the State Commissioner for Information, Mohammed Garuba, said it was done in good faith to increase the purchasing power of the state civil servants for Salah activities.
The State Executive Council felt that there is need for us, based on the presentation of the ministry, to start payment of salaries based on this arrangement whenever the need arises, that is, if there is any delay in terms of allocation.
Authorities say it's in the best interest of the good people of Kano State to respond to what they called mischievous speculations in order to expose any attempt aimed at tarnishing the record of the state government.
And heavy rainfall that led to the collapsed bridges in Jeba and Bokani-Okwa has resulted in severe traffic gridlock on the highway. The repair work has, however, begun on those bridges, and the Deputy Governor of Niger State, Ahmed Ketso, appeals to the federal government to expedite the completion of the rehabilitation because of the importance of the roads to commerce between the south and north of the country.
Thousands of heavy-duty vehicles, commercial and private vehicles, stranded, going through untold hardship along Mokwa-Tatabu, Bokani-Jeba Road, where a bridge collapsed last month due to heavy rainfall. The chaotic situation along the road, which links the southwest to the north, is posing a socio-economic and security threat to the residents of the nearby villages and Niger State at large, as hoodlums and thuggery is now allegedly the order of the day around the area. The Deputy Governor of Niger State appeals to the federal government and contractors to expedite action as people are losing billions of naira due to their inability to transport their goods on time.
But what I saw today is pathetic, because it's like the entire federation is held on to ransom economically. And I think the federal government, I commend them for a prompt response to this situation. But they have to do more. This lake is like a hope to the entire economy of Nigeria. And what we are seeing today, if going by the executive order signed by the acting president on deep business, the federal government must, as a matter of urgency, declare the emergency on all road infrastructure.
The Permanent Secretary and Minister of Works in the state says the federal government needs to, as a matter of urgency, take a holistic look at the entire road network and bridges with a view to give them a complete overhaul.
They have commenced the work much earlier than now. It is because they had some trucks that were stocked there. That is what delayed them, because first they have to remove those trucks before they continue with the work. So if we give them a chance, they'll be able to compact that place to allow vehicles to perhaps temporarily.
Meanwhile, the Director General of the Niger State Emergency Management Agency say they're keeping tabs on the situation.
The situation is bad, and as you can see, federal government is prompt. All work has commenced, and we're happy.
Although the pace of construction is alleged to be slow, and there's the other issue of collateral damage like security threats of hoodlums exploiting the chaos. The federal government seems determined, however, to finish the repairs in good time.
When the program returns in a moment, women in journalism have been charged to remain relevant, to improve themselves so as to remain relevant in the emerging media profession. Join us for details.